Welcome back to you for another most special update, my friends. So right on the close of what we saw to conclude the week of macro markets and everything, we had Moody's downgrading the US debt. Hopefully that doesn't really bleed into crypto or anything out here. There were people got a bit skitzed, but haven't seen that news announcement since 2011. That's when I basically shared with you the story, and since Juicy News. Bitcoin's still at like 102, 103, 104, 105. We might like jitter around and hang around the channel, whatever, until we're ready to go. Remember, Ethereum, friends, the most key price of Ethereum is 3,800. It's touched there 6 times. 6 times. Okay, you can see it clearly. I've drawn these circles here for you 6 times. Yeah, we're at 2,500. We got a next CME gap at like, 3,200 or whatever. So 3,800 is the key level, right? And like we're still in the twos. You know what I mean? Like, man, just get us into like 3,500 for us to get like mildly excited. That's what we want to see. Now, the stock market, friends, is looking absolutely cracker. It has retraced literally all the moves. What a V bottom, man. Huge. Also, I've got some just-in news that came in earlier today, friends. So President Pump says he's willing to travel to China for trade talks with President Winnie the Pooh. So that's wonderful that, the talks are going. Feels like some sort of orchestration, political theater stuff out here. And I guess the tariff tantrum will conclude and we're going to move in. It's some sort of new other narrative where you're going to climb the wall of worry again is going to appear. But before that, we've got to crank it up a bit. Now, friends, I've got some actual real cracker news. Shout out to my baby doll friend, Cryptico. Okay, Mr. Cryptico has given us this news that so it's another gentleman that made the post. This is beautiful. There's going to be an actual economic boom. Big bullish news. All right. Do you see this chart here? Philadelphia Fed future new orders. Do you see how that black line ticked up? Have a look at the bottom, the month-on-month change. Look at this, friends. This is the highest month-on-month change in like history. Yeah, because it went from it's all over. Oh no, crap. It's actually all on. I want to read for you this message, right? Philly Fed data for May, MAY, dropped yesterday, and the future new orders index just made history, literally. Expectations for new orders posted the largest monthly spike ever recorded, going all the way back to the index's inception, 1968. 4.3 standard deviation move on the positive. For perspective, it's even bigger move up than the downside collapse of the GFC, which was minus 4.1. So that magnitude on the loss, no, these are the magnitudes of the upside. Something like, whoa. Now, of course, why is it important, friends? Because remember, well, we use the business cycle, PMI. Yeah, this is part of the business cycle. But what they try to do is they try to guess, right? They try to use models and data points to say, hey, can we kind of forecast where that PMI is going to go in the future for the next like 6 months? And that index that I'm showing you, it's a forward-looking indicator. Now, it's very volatile, but it's because it can whip around, right? Because it's future orders and stuff out here. Because anything can skit you out in the future. It's kind of like, oh, you're thinking of taking a holiday in the next 2 years, So it's like, oh, in the next 2 years, you can take a holiday. So you can get happy about it today, but like anything can change in the next 2 years, right? You know what I mean? Like job status, medical stuff. Maybe you just don't like the place anymore. You know what I mean? So anything can skits you out. But this expectation is that we actually have an economic boom, okay? Because the future orders, they're forecasting up, which is the opposite of down. Let Julian continue. As far as we're concerned, the macro big picture remains this. The Q1 growth was weak. The reason is straightforward. Financial conditions tightened sharply. So pretty much the US dollar was strong. The bond yields were high as well. There was tightening, right? And then he said, look at this. This has had all the hallmarks of Q4 2016 during Trump's first term. Just like early 2017, that tightening spilled over into slower growth momentum Q1. He's basically saying when Trump first came in, the US dollar went up. Okay, it's pretty much saying everything's repeating again, which I'll just quickly show you, right? You can have a look here on the US dollar chart right here. So if we go back to when Trump came in, that was what he's talking about. The US dollar, so this was the Q4. It was strong. And what ended up happening as Trump comes in, we got the US dollar down and it was stimulating everything. It's kind of very similar to what was happening here, friends. Look what was happening, right? Same thing here. Look where we were. Into Trump's win, US dollar was too strong and now it's starting to come down. Okay, that's what it's reflecting. And he says, the most important part, those Q1 headwinds have flipped into Q2 tailwinds. So something that was blocking you from like accelerating, now they're like pushing you farther and farther, faster. Everything flows downstream from changes in financial conditions. Purchasing managers' expectations are shifting, and shifts in thinking eventually translate into action. Sentiment shifts first, action follows. It always does, bullish. So that's what they're doing. They're like, they do this monitoring. Like, hey, are you planning on like, expanding or doing anything later? That's where it comes from. All right. So I guess that's what it's like. Yes, they are thinking of like, hey, we might need to be doing big things. Got to plan stuff. That's how it like, they're thinking about stuff. And then, man, it's kind of crazy if it all works out. Remember, this is the chart here. Look at this. It went from literally it's all over to literally, no, it's actually back on. We're going to have to do more. Isn't that crazy? That's typical markets, man. It's like, oh, no, actually, we don't need to buy anything for the next 2 years. You go, oh, wait, get me everything out of the store. Oh, what a big volatile move. And that's why the VIX went to like freaking 60, right? And now it's come back down. So what do we expect from this, friends? That's why I'm giving you these very juicy, yummy updates here for you. OTHERS-btc, you're way too cheap. All right, you have to go up. We just don't know how, okay? So 2 scenarios. Of course, you can just go down. There's that scenario. But 2 scenarios. We could just run up only for like 6 or 7 months. Now, we ran up for 5 months in 2021, and we ran up for 6 months in a row in 2017. All right, so maybe we do 6 or 7, whatever. Okay, it could happen, and then it'd be scary. Maybe it's all over. Who knows? Complacency, whatever. Or we run up for a bit, we stall, and then we're actually moving into 2026 extended. I don't know what we're going to get. Okay, no one knows what we're going to get. You and I, we're most likely prepared already. You've had, like, we don't have a problem of not being long enough crypto. You know what I mean? Like, all of us are like, yeah, I went way too hard. That's literally every single person still here is like, yeah, I'm like way too hard. Now we're laughing and having fun here. I'll play some angel music for everyone at the back there. We're laughing and having fun. We've got our mod glasses on. Doesn't feel fun, does it? It's just like, man. Oh, man. Did we lose everything? No, you're asking that question, but it's not, friends. It's down. Okay, it's down. It's not. It's just you didn't lose. Okay, losers have this loss mentality. It's not loss. Okay, it's this volatility. Because you're playing a long cycle. It doesn't matter what it does in between. It's kind of like if you're doing a trade and you're trading, and your trading strategy is to hold for 5 daily candles, and you get in, okay, it doesn't matter if like in the next day, like you've ticked, halfway to your stop. Now you're nervous, but you're like, man, but the trade's not over. You're holding for 5 days. Or if it goes up like, 3 units of win and then it comes back down to break even in the middle of the, let's say day 2 or day 3, you're like, hey, I'm holding day 5. Okay. But it's the same thing. Instead of day 5, it's more like year 5. Yeah. Remember, we delay gratification. And yes, crypto does move parabolic, doesn't move up in stair steps. Okay. Because everyone tries to rush in at the same time. Speaking of rushing in, friends, a couple of people are starting to rush into PulseChain. Have the core coins here just moving up a couple of percentages. PDI is up 20%. Been some nice price action for it as well. So, friends, PulseChain itself, once again, still stuck in the channel as it's been for like months and months and months and months and months, waiting for it to resolve up. But yeah, we need Ethereum, right? Ethereum's got to crack 3,800. Remember, we were waiting for Ethereum 4K. How many times? It just kept hitting there, come back down, hitting there, come back down, hitting there. It pings up $50. Oh, we've broken it. Well, we all thought we'd broken it. No, it comes back down, right? So 6 freaking times. And now we're going to go for the 7th one. And I think we're really ready to go after that point. But still going to be a bit of a while, right? We'll see how long. Richard Hart today has posted about stablecoins, which I'm going to need to do another full update video here for you. But just to give you a bit of an introduction, friends. So Richard Hart's posts, he's talked about the Genius Act. So he's basically confirms the stablecoin SuperCycle. The Genius Act, they call it Genius, but it's actually anti-crypto. So they're putting stablecoin regulation in, but the only authorized stablecoins, okay, there's no interest that's allowed to be earned, and it's only by regulated bank issuers. Yeah. They're not allowed to give you interest. So the banks, why the banks are sponsoring the governments, the politicians to do that, because they want to give you the yield, because they don't want crypto to pretty much replace them, right? So man, I'm just going to say it, man. Just depends. It literally, I'm just going to say it, bro. It's literally just asking for the narrative. That's the whole point of PDI is that it's a decentralized native, potentially future speculative stablecoin if it all works out, if it actually does get to $1 and stay there. Yeah. And some people say, hey, what about the yield you could earn and stuff like here? Make it out, friends. You earn the yield from people using the protocol, from borrowing and lending. Now, I don't know how it's going to work because, you know, MakerDAO was killed or whatever. There might be something there. Okay. But you can attach stuff with how these things work out. You can attach yield based off the borrowing and lending. Like, for example, if you use Aave, the biggest money market, you can supply tokens. Your supply yield is based off what people are willing to borrow. If there's no one willing to borrow, like your Tether there, like in our bear market, the yield was like 1% for Tether on Aave. Yeah, but now, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like 8%. Because there's not enough Tether in there. Why? Because you don't even want to leave your stablecoins in there because people would rather deploy them. It's based on supply and demand, right? That's how I used to think banks worked. They don't work like that. they just print the money. I learned that off Richard Hart. I was like, so I couldn't even find information on the internet about that. Where he goes, people think you earn interest off the bank because of the people getting loans. He goes, no, you don't. They just print the currency. I was like, no. I looked it up. You couldn't even find it on Google. You literally can't even find it. Now there's information like that. Maybe I'll pop up and stuff. But yeah, it's kind of, I couldn't believe it. Like, they don't teach you that when you go to uni and stuff. They're very convenient. They're like, oh, it's based off the supply. No, it's not. No, it's not. They like totally just skip that part. I'm like, that's weird. Why do you guys get to print it? Oh, because we're authorized. Who authorized you? And why? Right? How do they check everything? They go, oh, it's all government stuff out here. And then the GFC happens, right? So no, they don't actually check. They're all in cahoots. So I guess we'll see how that plays out. I've got another full video coming out here for you. Don't forget, friends, PulseChain is going to print a God candle soon. Green candle. The higher we get from that, it's like nothing's everyone's ever seen before because you don't get fried as much. Like it's like this like consistent, healthy staircase up that just keeps building up and up and up and up. So here I am, baby Somi, talking about the green handle and like, this is not like drinking or a recreational drug. I don't know what it is. The drug of a green candle in financial markets, it is the most tantalizing thing. And friends, I'm not desensitized. Friends, we've been here forever. We are still not desensitized to it. We're still not desensitized to it, right? Drugs, your brain fries, your kidneys fry, your liver fries, right? You run out of water and stuff. There's this something, I don't know what it is. It's like tapping in to like your third eye or something and you're speculating on the future. Drugs can't make you speculate on the future, right? Maybe I guess if you take one of those mushrooms or something out here, you start seeing something, but I don't know about like actually speculating on the future. It's wild, man. I don't know what it is, bro. It's just literally this beeswax, soy-free, scent-free candle, right? It's scentless. It actually doesn't smell like anything, right? So, and yes, they are hexagons on there, friends. Yeah. The shape of the PulseChain logo and the hex logo. Very interesting. Chainic as well. But yeah, man, I don't know what it is. That's like, and it just grabs everyone, man. It's the green candles, man. They just don't. Like, friends, think about it. The green candles, it's more dangerous than a drug. At least with a drug, you know, you get bags under your eyes, you lose your teeth. You know, if you smoke too much meth, it's over, right? But when it comes to green candles, friends, it gives people this confidence to go convince other nations to come put their treasury savings into your crypto, which is what Michael Saylor and CZ is doing. Green candles inspire you to go take on more risk, right? They inspire you like Michael Saylor. Hey, this thing's on $13 million, just like off the cuff. You know what I mean? You better get it. It's running out, right? It just, man, it's wild. These manias out here, friends. I'm glad at least you've been able to be on this journey with me and just to make yourself aware of this. No one talks about this because no one's even done introspective study on it. Some scientists have studied and economists, but not anywhere like this. Because in crypto, it's like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Like where you like live 15 years in freaking one. It's actually doing numbers like 4 years. For every 1 year in crypto, it's like 4 years in stock market. We're like getting like a master's degree in freaking degeneracy. PulseChain is undervalued based on social engagement. Check it out. Made in USA is the leading narrative across crypto, with Solana leading the charge. Coins with leading mindshare across crypto include, and here's PulseChain 0.4%. So I just want to show you, like, if we are the same mindshare as Avalanche, friends, look at that. They have a 9 billion market cap. That's crazy, man. You know, total PulseChain is only about 2.2. That's if you add Pulse, if you add up all the core coins. Pulse, PulseX, EHEX, PHEX, and Inc. Yeah, you'll get about like 2.2 billion. Right, and look at that. So Avalanche is like 4x higher, man. 5x higher. So we're literally undervalued by 5x. Right, and it's not just Avalanche. You can look at other stuff as well. Like you have Litecoin here as well. And Polkadot. Polkadot is 7.5 billion. So like if you're like, here's the thing. If you're just trading PLS, if you're not even counting the core coins, just PLS, man, PLS is undervalued by 15x. Right? Literally undervalued. But like if you want to be conservative, like that's why we shouldn't even be down here. We should be up 400% higher. We should be at 2x SAC price based off everything right now. And by the way, that would be break even for the Pulse ETH ratio from 4 years ago. Okay, which I'll show you right now. So this is the PLS WETH ratio. This is it right here. That's where we are. We should be, if I just go up like 400%, around up here. We should actually be up here. Okay, so you should be about from here to here. Yeah, about 50% above from 4 years ago, which is fair. That's what I think fair is, because obviously we want it to be higher. But I mean, based off Ethereum today, business cycle's low and everything out here. Why are we down here? Well, hello, future sell pressure. Richard Hart joking. I don't know, people clicking sell. Also, with slingshot leverage, man, that's how it works, man. Like when the business cycle's down, people don't, that's why there's opportunity. When the business cycle's down, some say doon, you don't get this nice, fair pricing everywhere. People just sell anything and everything because it's bad. And they keep selling until it gets better, right? They just keep selling lows and lows and lows. Like, they don't care that something's down 90%. People don't care HEX is down 99%. They just care that Ethereum's not, say, 7K. That's it. They don't feel good. So they just sell whatever. So if HEX could be $1, it could be 1 cent, it could be 1/1000th of a cent. Doesn't matter. They just go click sell. So that's what people act on emotions. The crowd acts on emotions. Conversely, on the way up, people act on emotions. They don't care how high they're buying. They're buying a join in. It doesn't matter. Yeah. That's also beautiful things about markets. That's how you can get access to future retirement. If a lot of people are willing to throw in a lottery ticket to get in at some point and they like it so much, it turns into a core position for them and they all do it at the same time with the most amount of people, you have your parabolic blow off top. Okay? That's what happens. So we're like, when? I don't know when. I hope soon. So it's kind of cool. I just showed you, like, friends, I've been knowing this for a long time, man. PulseChain is totally undervalued, right? Also, remember, friends, question, is Eric Wall on the PulseChain payroll? Okay, remember, Eric Wall, he's the new spam king, as called by the Bitcoin maxis, because Eric likes altcoin data, JPEG data on Bitcoin. He likes the data on Bitcoin to use the chain, and Bitcoin maxis don't want it. They want people to, like, do this pure, you know, I'll trade my lumber for your block of butter, that type of barter, but no one's using Bitcoin for that. It's like really, really, really low, right? Because the future's digital. You understand? Smart contracts are just digital goods and services that we make now. You know, like you and I, like, friends, we ever joke about this, right? Friends, if you go out, yeah, and there's a steak there, right? Like some countries, some cities, there's dog shit. Like, you know, maybe like you're used to paying whatever, $30 for a steak, something that's ridiculous, yeah. But you go to a fancy restaurant and they're like, man, it's 59 here, right? You think about it a bit. You think about it, you're like, man, I'm getting ripped on a steak, yeah. But someone comes in and says, hey, you see this sexy altcoin? Heard a rumor it's going to do a 50x in the bull market. But you would not even think twice, throw thousands of dollars at it. You don't even care, right? And we all think like that, right? You're checking your wallet. You're like, man, I don't want to pay an extra $15 for a steak. It's not that nice. Am I even that hungry? Yeah, but when it comes to an altcoin, gimme. You know, of course, one's consumption, one's investment. But it's funny just to think about what we don't, you know, what we actually, how we program our brain for that. So that's the future of crypto. It's going to be interesting, right? Bitcoin Max is calling Eric Wall the new spam king because Bitcoin dominance, friends, I'll show you a nice chart from my friend Mr. Crypto right here. This nice triangle with Bitcoin dominance to go down. Now, this number is still only 54%. He's like zoomed into it, 54%. So we got a long way to go. Fell out of the triangle, but they're all complacent. They're not getting out because you know the game, friends. People are here to buy high, right? Also, some other cracking news as well. Look at this. HEX is the top 5 swapped crypto on MetaMask swap this week again. 5. Remember, friends, I onboarded my dentist. Could have been my dentist. Clip it in a bit. I think, for like 10 grand or something. So, yeah, why are I getting HEX on Ethereum? Because we had 30 seconds to talk. Maximum 30 seconds. People behind me, we only had 30 seconds max. And I had to give him, it's either, I can't talk about anything else. He doesn't know what PulseChain is. He doesn't know what a bridge is. Like, bridge is something you drive over the road. Not click in something, wait 35 minutes, then call me up and how to swap. No, dude. No. Like, too long. It's just literally, I got funds here. Tell me the button to press. Just tell me the button, swap into HEX, bang. Right, yeah, pay the MetaMask swap fee for the convenience. That's it. You know, better in than nothing, right? So people are still swapping on HEX. It's kind of cool because maybe they're still used to PulseChain and everything out here being gate kept. We'll see. So how's that all going to turn out? Hopefully with a big fat giant pump. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Catch you soon.